They say I vanished into the sky, but the sky keeps no secrets. My fall was bought and paid for. Those who smiled at me signed the papers that buried me. The sea holds my body, but the truth still waits above the waves.
Vault file number 0001. Subject, Alfred Loewenstein. Date, July 4th, 1928. Status, deceased. Cause, unresolved. A billionaire boards his private plane. Minutes later, he vanishes, mid-air. No witnesses, no explanation. This is the richest mystery in the sky. Before the world knew him as a headline, Alfred Loewenstein was the ultimate symbol of ambition turned to gold. Born in Brussels in 1877, he didn't inherit his fortune. He built it, brick by brick, in a world that was still learning how to harness electricity. Loewenstein saw opportunity where others saw danger and doubt. By the roaring 1920s, his investments in electricity, chemicals, and international finance had made him a king without a crown, one of the richest men alive. Imagine the Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos of his era, but with the mystery and swagger of old world Europe. His influence stretched across London, Paris, and Brussels. Governments listened when he spoke. Banks bent when he moved his money. In 1928, his personal fortune equaled nearly $1.5 billion today, an empire so large that even nations envied him. Loewenstein's lifestyle was as extravagant as his wealth suggested. He traveled in luxury private planes when most people had never even seen one. He employed personal secretaries, valets, and stenographers to follow his every move. He wasn't just rich, he was untouchable, living life at 10,000 feet, both literally and figuratively. Yet beneath the polished image of the perfect tycoon, whispers swirled. His business dealings were bold, sometimes reckless. Rivals plotted in the shadows, and the financial press speculated on whether his empire was built on brilliance or on the edge of collapse. And so, on a warm summer day in 1928, Alfred Loewenstein boarded his private aircraft, a man who had everything the modern world could offer. Minutes later, he would become something else entirely, the subject of one of history's most chilling mysteries. (1928). A warm summer afternoon over the English Channel. Alfred Loewenstein, the billionaire who ruled European finance like a silent emperor, arrived at the small Croydon airfield near London. Waiting for him was his pride and joy, a trimotor plane, gleaming like a silver arrow in the sun. Private air travel was a luxury only the richest on Earth could imagine, and for Loewenstein, it was just another Tuesday. Boarding alongside him were 6 people: his trusted pilot, mechanic, personal valet, secretary, and a young stenographer. Every role carefully chosen. The engines roared, the wheels lifted, and soon the English countryside fell away beneath the clouds. For a while, everything seemed ordinary. Loewenstein relaxed in his cabin, perhaps thinking about his next big deal or the empire he had built from nothing. Below, the sea stretched endlessly, calm and blue. But somewhere in that peaceful sky, something went terribly wrong. Midway across the channel, Alfred stood up from his seat. Witnesses later said he walked calmly toward the rear of the plane, where the lavatory was located. He opened the door, and then he was gone. The crew claimed they felt a sudden rush of wind. The rear door of the Fokker was unlocked and opened outward. An almost impossible oversight for a man who valued control over everything. When the plane landed, one of the richest men in the world had simply vanished. No witnesses, no distress calls, just a billionaire lost in the open sky. And that was only the beginning of the mystery. When the Fokker trimotor touched down in the French coastal town of St. Ingelvert, the airfield workers expected to see a billionaire step off the plane. Instead, there was chaos. The pilot stumbled out, pale as a ghost, and the crew whispered a single unbelievable truth. Alfred Loewenstein had disappeared in midair. Police swarmed the runway. Their questions were met with strange, hesitant answers. The crew insisted that Loewenstein had gone to the rear of the plane to use the lavatory and never returned. The rear door was found open. Within hours, the English Channel was alive with search parties. Boats combed the waters. Newspapers ran screaming headlines. Days turned into weeks. Then a fisherman near Boulogne noticed something pale floating among the waves. It was the body of Alfred Loewenstein. His face had been battered by the sea, but he was still wearing his silk shirt, tie, and expensive shoes. The official cause of death, drowning after a fall. But there was something off. Terribly off. The body's position suggested he hadn't been fighting the water. There were bruises that didn't quite match the story. And almost immediately after his death, his vast fortune began to slip through fingers. Accounts shifted, funds vanished, and rumors whispered that this was no accident. It was a heist written in the clouds. The world has argued for nearly a century about how Alfred Loewenstein died. Three main theories haunt the record. Theory 1, accident. The Fokker's rear door was located dangerously close to the lavatory. Did he simply mistake the exit door for the toilet? Could the billionaire have stepped into nothingness, his wealth offering no protection against gravity? Theory 2, suicide. Some historians whisper that Loewenstein's empire was not as solid as it seemed. Hidden debts and risky investments could have pushed him to despair. A quiet exit into the sea might have been his final tragic calculation. Theory 3, murder. The most chilling theory. A man worth over $1 billion in modern dollars, traveling with employees who stood to gain everything if he vanished, a crew whose testimonies changed under pressure, and a door that was suspiciously easy to unlatch. Even stranger, within days of his death, large sums of money began moving in secret, slipping into accounts across Europe. No arrests were ever made. To this day, no one can say with certainty whether Alfred Loewenstein fell, jumped, or was pushed. His death remains one of the richest mysteries ever written in the sky. If you want to uncover more lost fortunes, unsolved deaths, and the hidden histories of the world's wealthiest, open the next file. Subscribe, like, and share, because another $1 billion mystery waits, and we're just getting started.